Assalamu alaikum. Hello everybody, and very glad to meet you on the show. And today we'll talk about the lifestyle and the relation with lifestyle with diseases now. And you know that there are a lot of diseases now, including cancers and also the autoimmune diseases and cardiovascular diseases and so allergy, asthma, and many conditions now. And we will face now a hard situation. Now we are now facing it, and we will face a hard situation in the future because of the change now of the lifestyle. Everything now is being changing now around you, and that it's time, and it's up to you to decide the way you can live in this world without any trouble, any health troubles, and any problems, any condition. And so the lifestyle, all the diseases now are related to the lifestyle. Sure, that before when people use it to get some raw materials and they cook them at home and they prepare some food and some meals at home, and all the homemade food is clean, and you know what you eat. But now the change, the shift between as the homemade foods and the processed foods now was big during the last 20 years, and now people are living on processed foods or some products they don't know that when you open a can, open a bag, that you don't know what you eat, that because you didn't prepare it. You don't know anything about the ingredients and about all things that included in that food. And this is the problem. Some people now are eating in dark. They don't know what they are eating. They don't know what they are swallowing. And unfortunately, so that things now are changing and changing fastly, and all things around you are fasting. And now it's time, and it's up to you to decide where that you have to manage your life, and just to not get some health troubles. Not only health troubles, but also psychological troubles, in this world. So the life now is getting more and more expensive, as you might know, and the quality of food products and crops and a lot of items that you can buy and you can living on it, the sustenance and the food that we are living on. That's the way the increase in prices are running up in all the countries around the world, and people now are trying to buy some cheaper food, and when you go to the cheaper foods, you will not find the high quality food. So some people who cannot buy some raw materials like vegetables, legumes, and so fruits, and that's and this is the first point, and unfortunately this point is very important, but people should pay attention that many people now cannot cook food, cannot prepare the food at home. First, because they don't know, and second, they cannot, that because of the time and the work, and so they don't find the time to cook or to prepare anything at home. And also when looking for these raw materials to buy them, that you should make really a big effort that to get them, that you should go to the market or in some farms or far from your town you are living. But I think that many shops and many places now are selling some raw materials still exist in all the countries around the world. But so just to not talk too much about the subject, so first that you have to decide yourself the way you should live in this world. If you choose to live on the processed food, you will get a lot of problems, a lot of troubles. But if you can prepare your food yourself, or at least 70 to 80% that some food, and you can from time to time that you can eat a processed food, it's not a problem, but you should have your main meals and your main food prepared at home. This is the first point. Second, the run-up of the prices, and the life now is getting more expensive than before. That please do not try to find some cheaper foods, and do not try to not consume high quality foods, and maybe you will get some processed foods, and all the processed foods now are changing also. The pasta you bought before, it's not the pasta you can find now in the market, and also some cakes and some wafers and even some chocolate bars and some candies and some a lot of things. That cereals that you can get the morning for your breakfast, that even cereals now are changing. That's because the industry and the food manufacturing now is changing. The process now, new processes now are introduced in technology just to include some other protein sources like the insects, bugs, and some worms. Now they will be included in food. Some people now are wondering, is it true or not, that you have to get the idea. They should be informed at least. I don't know that the people in United States, they think it's not a problem, but I think in Europe, in European countries, the problem now is being discussed and show that hard talking now about these bugs. They are now already in foods, and these foods containing these bugs and these worms and insects are already on the shelves in your supermarkets. And sure, when you buy a processed food, be sure that you will eat these items. And the change of the industry, the food manufacturing is not a steady field. The change every day. That because of the some innovation of many processes, and also the change of the raw materials they are using in these processed foods. So even that the sausage, the dried sausages and also processed sausages, that's the same. You get many brands and many kinds of sausages. The same thing for the cheeses, like the dairy products. There are a lot of products. You have a big list of these products in fermented milk, fermented dairy products, and also some cheeses. That the number of the kind of cheeses around the world is more than 1,000 types of cheese around the world. So it's not easy to choose. So now there is a disease now. Diseases had emerged when the food and the lifestyle has changed. And from the 70 years of the last century, the increase, the cardiovascular first, the heart diseases, started by the heart diseases. That's because the change and the shift from the from the mixed diet to a diet rich in dairy products and meat, and poor in fibers, poor in vegetables. And we got a lot of problems with the heart disease. The heart disease that is due to the high amount of animal-sourced foods and low fibers in your diet. And then after that, people started to eat some processed foods, and the lifestyle changed to a new. So that's because people thought that they are living good with the new lifestyle, but they couldn't so realize that they were destroying their life and their health, unfortunately. And with the processed foods, we saw the cancers. The cancers emerged. Many kinds of cancers emerged. And then after, when the GMO, the genetically modified organisms, introduced on the markets and the food, then the third stage is the autoimmune diseases. Now the fourth stage will be some unknown diseases like autism. A lot of diseases will appear in the future, and also some of them now are being emerged. As you might know, that some doctors now are getting some troubles with the patients, that because they cannot diagnose some diseases, some new diseases, so that we look at the dossier that you have everything all right. So the lab determinations, the lab analysis, and also the imagery, nothing. But the patient is suffering from something unknown. Some doctors now are getting more and more troubles every day with the patients with these new diseases. I'm sure that some new diseases are now emerging because of the pandemic, because of a lot of things and other factors, extrinsic factors that may also be included as causes of these diseases in our time. Now we are living in technology, and so we are living in the epoch of the technology, and everything now is being processed, including our food. So now it's up to you to choose and also to decide for yourself the way that you can live in this world. If you choose that to live on the raw materials, so you don't need a lot of things, that you don't need them. So only clean, small meals and clean food, natural food. And also lifestyle, that is your food that you should manage. You should practice exercise every day. And 2 times a day, it's better, morning and evening. Exercise now is mandatory. And also the second, that you should practice a detox every month you should practice a detox. That is, it's up to you, so that when you feel tired, you feel sick, you feel not good, and so that you have to practice a detox, a cleanse every month, 2 days. You can fast or starvation, drink plenty of water, and also the vegetarian diet during 3 days. The vegetarian diet during 3 days. I say it 2 times, and this is just to clean your body and to avoid the accumulation of some toxic compounds that you can get from food, processed foods, and also the pollution. Everything around you is polluted now, and you are not breathing fresh air. So and the contamination now of the air is heavy. It's very heavy. So it's some dust and some heavy metals and plastic, and a lot of things now are flying in the air. And so exercise is to cleanse every month, and also the clean food if you can. Clean food, and do not forget to get some food supplements. So they are classified as food supplements, but they are not food supplements. They are natural curing materials, like royal jelly and propolis, and also omega-3, and so probiotic. And you have to take lactic probiotic, lactic, not yes. And you have to prescribe to your pharmacist that to give you the probiotic lactic, and also propolis. Propolis, I think, as caps, it's bitter powder, it's natural, but 1 gram per day is sufficient. And also royal jelly, but royal jelly not every day. Please try to have it at home. And you can take it 2 times a week. That is very good. That's because these 4 materials, omega-3, royal jelly, propolis, and probiotic, just to protect your body against all the diseases. And even if you have some diseases like cancer or autoimmune diseases, that you will improve your condition. Sure that you will improve it. So, and this show is just so to make you think about the way you will live in the future, and be sure that now we are facing a complicated situation, so regarding to our health, and also so psychologically and also physiologically, and you have to pay attention. Even some medicines now are also changing. When you go to the pharmacist, ask him, he will tell you that all the medicines, and drugs and medicines are being changed every day, and some medicines you will not find them in the pharmacy, and that your doctor will change the name, because there are many brands and many kinds of antibiotics that you can use at the same time. It will depend on the doctor. They can prescribe the antibiotic A or B or C or D, and they have to choose which one that you have to take. And please ask your pharmacist, and he will tell you that there are shortness in drugs and medicines, and it will be more and more severe in the future. So please try to not get some health troubles, try to not get sick. It's better than to look for some medicines and some healing or curing, and some therapeutic agents, even chemical or natural. See you later. Assalamu alaikum.